Remember when we were kids, or maybe you did this as a parent when you were concerned your kid was going to do something just like a pal of his, and we used to say something like, well, if Billy jumped off a bridge, would you do that too? That's a common thing we used to do in terms of behavior. And while it's cool to watch a movie in this breaking story like Thelma and Louise and watch the lead characters drive themselves right off a cliff, let's try to remember, especially in this breaking story about Trump and what he's doing with his policies when it comes to driving the country's economy off a cliff. It's just a movie there. It's real life here. And what people don't seem to understand is once you start a massive domino effect of taking income out of people's pockets with all of these random firings and all of these tariff threats, you start a wave of activity that's really hard to turn all the way back around. And that's what people aren't considering. And I'm going to show you that breaking story in just a few seconds because the most conservative, respected newspaper in this country just kicked Trump right in the teeth. And as of this morning, this is some of the commentary related to the breaking story I'm going to show you. Take a look at this.
We want to focus more on Wall Street's reaction to the turmoil over tariffs and the impact of that massive sell-off on your bottom line. NBC's business correspondent Brian Chung is on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange this morning. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, Savannah. Good morning, Peter. Investors are bracing for what could be another tumultuous day on Wall Street after what was the worst day for stocks in 2025. The S&P 500 falling 2.7% and the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite falling by 4%. But zooming out, since inauguration, the picture looks even worse, with the S&P 500 having lost more than 6% and the NASDAQ losing over 10% over that period of time. But the concern for investors is now that the tariff uncertainty could spill over from the C-suite into Main Street as well. We heard from the likes of Delta saying just yesterday that they're concerned that consumers could pull back on travel spending, with the CEO Ed Bastian saying and citing a reduction in consumer and corporate confidence as a potential reason why there could be a pullback. This type of uncertainty ratcheted up as the trade war and the tariff conversation from the White House also picked up. And until there's more certainty on that front, until there's also more certainty on things like the government shutdown and what the Federal Reserve is going to do in response with their interest rate policies, there is that R word floating around with recession that has some investors and just regular people with stock accounts a little bit concerned.
And this is extremely stressful. A lot of people also looking at their 401ks, their retirement, saying, what is going on?
Well, yeah, he and Musk are going so fast that you're going to take thousands and thousands and thousands of people and cut their income off quickly is going to have a very fast effect. And we may slide into a recession so fast, faster than any time in history, because of how they're going about doing what they're doing. So in this breaking story, listen to what the Wall Street Journal just stated about Mr. Trump and his policies. Here it is. Breaking. The conservative Wall Street Journal enrages MAGA world by warning that we are crashing straight into a full-blown Trump recession thanks to his disastrous tariffs. When a Republican president loses the Wall Street Journal, you know things are getting bad. In quotes, recession fears are roiling markets as tech stocks and the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell sharply again on Monday. Stock prices have been richly valued for some time, and this may be merely a market correction. But there are also signs of slowing economy that should have the Trump administration on alert. The Journal's editorial board wrote in a piece entitled, "Will There Be a Trump Recession?" The board went on to criticize Trump, saying that he didn't help the mood over the weekend when he refused to rule out the possibility of an economic slowdown and said that, in quotes, there is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big. What exactly Trump hopes to gain from his harebrained tariffs beyond some nebulous demands about immigration and fentanyl smuggling is still unclear. In quotes, Mr. Trump was right to note that a president shouldn't be preoccupied with short-term investor reactions to economic policies that will boost long-term growth. But there are flashing signs that the U.S. economy is slowing, the Journal wrote. Specifically, the right-wing newspaper pointed to the recent disappointing job reports, the escalating trade wars with our allies, Canada and Mexico, as well as the general chaos and uncertainty caused by this administration. The board also cited specific instances where the tariffs are crushing businesses. One transportation equipment manufacturer stated that, in quotes, customers are pausing on new orders as a result of uncertainty regarding tariffs. Similarly, a machinery manufacturer revealed that the incoming tariffs are causing our products to increase in price as sweeping price increases are incoming from suppliers. When tariffs cause steel prices to rise, steel-using companies raise prices, the journal explained, debunking Trump's false claims that the cost of tariffs are borne by foreign countries rather than domestic consumers. The editorial concluded by stating that all of the aforementioned factors suggest, in quotes, slower growth ahead, even if the economy dodges a recession. If Mr. Trump wants to quiet recession alarm, he would be wise to put his tariff plans on the shelf, the board wrote. See, this is the challenge for all of us. The challenge is we don't need to have an MBA in being an economist. We don't have to do those sorts of things to understand from your own household what it's like when you go too fast, too far. There is a period of recovery, and if it's something that's really slow moving, the recovery back from that can take a long time. This is why you see commonly either a president take it on the chin from the previous administration, or in cases with Trump, both times, from Obama and now Biden, where he's going to take advantage of the good economy he was left with, same as W did after Clinton, and ride that wave for a while. It's also why we didn't see a lot of the hell from Trump's tax cuts in 2016, coupled with COVID in 2020 when he was leaving office, that people blame Biden for. This isn't even about left and right, red or blue. This is just about the reality of when you start a domino effect in this country economically with thousands and thousands and thousands of people and their income, man, it can take a minute to come back. So understand, he may not be trying to create a recession, but boy, we are right on the way. So hang in there, stay healthy, live your life, enjoy, talk to your friends, talk to those you don't agree with, stay frosty and stay financially frosty. See you soon.